here with our Topps Chrome number 20. Let me share the links. Sorry for the late start. I was dealing with something because somebody stole somebody else's. Yeah, it's not good for the person that tried to steal mail, because you better return that and everything that's in the package or tomorrow. 20. Share the links. Sorry for the late start. I was dealing with something. There is. So I was waiting for stuff to restart, then was dealing with something else, and I'll let you know. The guy better return it, because it's a federal crime to open somebody else's mail, and I will. Be petty as fucking show up with the cops at his house tomorrow and file criminal and civil charges. So should probably avoid that. Probably wouldn't be a good look for him. I was dealing with something because I don't know why the fuck you think it's okay to open somebody else's fucking mail, but that's a whole different story. Also a federal offense and mail theft, but you know. I'm sure he'd much rather have the cops handle it than me personally handle it, so. Anyway, we're here with a full blaster case, 40 blasters. We'll do 5 at a time like we have been in all the blaster case breaks. Appreciate you guys filling this one up. We do have a full case of Breakers of Light Topps Chrome with 2 hobby boxes and a pack from the National. We have a case of Finest up, and then obviously Star Wars released today. Star Wars break is up. Give him my Cal Ripken Jr. here, Project 2020. Give him a nice rub on all the boxes. Good luck to everybody. Team list on the right, over a camera in the bottom left-hand corner. Like I said, we'll do 5 blasters at once and go from there. Hey, how you doing, Brent? I mean, 2 sepias and 2 pinks are the only guarantees. Normally every 5 blasters we get roughly an autograph and some numbered parallels as well, so a decent chance at that here. Yeah, that's what they retail at. Anything that fills while I'm breaking this, I'll still break tonight. Anything that fills after, I will break tomorrow. I definitely have more Star Wars. I think I'll probably in the next Star Wars break do a half case Breakers of Light, half case of Hobby. Yeah, they are not. I was gonna say. That's why, honestly, I think probably the best bang for your buck if you're just looking to try to collect in like your team that is almost this, especially if you're okay and you want like the fact of collecting like base cards or even the retail exclusive parallels. I think a case of 40 blasters is actually a pretty decent like bang for your buck. Obviously, you guys all know my feelings on breaking retail in general. I think it's not the best, but with the prices of the hobby and everything going up on the later waves, I think it's a pretty decent value now. I think originally when everything came out, I don't think it's worth it, if that makes sense. But because the rookie class is so good and guys like Jackson Merrill have just been tearing the cover off the ball, it's become more valuable. And I kind of explained in the beginning for the late start, but yeah, just hey, I can't believe the post office delivered something to the wrong house, and then the person opened it up and then had the nerve to message the person and be like, I think I got your mail. We have Kekkerin, Naylor Rizzo. We have Shohei on the Prism Refractor, so there's 40 bucks. We have Rizzo, Casey Schmidt, Phillips, Jazz Chisholm Jr., Manny Machado, Corbin Carroll, Dominguez, Kershaw, Abrams, Winans. We have Soderstrom, Melendez, Evaldi, Sean Murphy, Mason Wynn on the pink. That's going to go to Cardinals. I have Lipsius, Benintendi, Marte, Senga, and Manny Machado. We have Canzone, Bieber, Verdugo, Albies, Kessinger, Tovar, Springer, Trey Turner with a pink Kierstead. We have Henry Davis, Andrew Abbott, Yordan Alvarez, Joey Votto, C.J. Abrams, Happ, Garcia, Gore, Seager, Tenna, Goldschmidt, Garcia. We have Sean Murphy, Evan Carter, Meckler, Leiter, Spencer Torkelson, Chris Murphy on the pink, Millis, Rochillo, Wade Jr., Aaron Judge, Royce Lewis, Marte, Bradish, Shota, Diaz, Vines, Senga. We have Devin Williams, Xander Bogaerts, and Jose Tenna on the pink. Bogaerts for the Padres on the 206 out of 299, purple speckle. Gonna go to Tony in his first break. Glad we could finally get this one filled up for you, Tony, to experience your first break here in Charm City. We have Gavin Williams, Canario, Richardson, Moniak, Yelich, Rodriguez, Carroll, Gleyber Torres, Yoshida, Jaloff, Castillo, Harper, Candelario, Gomez, Butler, Michael Harris II. We have Wade Meckler and Jose Ramirez on the 25 out of 150 Blue Ray Wave. Going to the Guardians. And Rui. Got Horner, Mullins, Kirilloff, Betts, Bichette, Boyle, Hayes, Soto, Benintendi, Luciano, Spires, Dylan Cease, Shane Bieber on the purple Sonar. And that's going to be a 72 out of 275. Have Colton Cowser on the pink. Orioles, Sal Frelick, Greinke, Will Smith, Benintendi, O'Neal Cruz, Bregman, Thomas, Tatis Jr., Corbin Carroll, Murphy. Have Emerson Hancock, Max Scherzer, Bieber, Amaya. I have Chris Bryant, Doyle, Nico Horner, CES for the Reds on the pink. PCA, Baez, Cole, Green, Contreras, Marlowe, Rocchio, Blackburn, Story, Millis, Bradish, Varsho, Meneses, Jason Dominguez on the pink. Some nice rookies on the retail exclusive parallels here. Nice J-Dom. Vines, Marte, Richardson, Ornelas, Wade Jr., Rodriguez, Carroll, McClanahan, Lindor, Canario, Wade Jr., and Contreras. We have Perez, Jaloff, Williams, Michael Ayers II, Bradish, Soderstrom, Olson, McNeil, Adames, Steele, Xander Bogaerts, Besebe, Wyatt Langford, Judge, Moniak, Funderburk, Sale, Gunnar Henderson, Nola, and Tristan Gray. That's going to be the first 5 blasters. Looked at possible new retail space. We kind of talked about that yesterday. I was going to say, or the day before. Did I break yesterday? Did break yesterday. So we'll see. It looked, I mean, a lot of potential in it. Just have to kind of see what they'll give the rent to and how much it's going to cost to fix the things that I need to fix in it. Because they said they have their own construction team, so, or renovation team or whatever they said. Because I have a guy that'll rip out carpet and put in like the wood vinyl, like the fake wood vinyl floors for like pretty inexpensive price. So, because they have to take out all their shitty, like, you know, the shitty carpet. You go in like an accountant's office or like a tax guy's office, like it has that shitty carpet in there. And I have no clue what like a big place would run for 3,000 square feet, but I would assume that if a new tenant comes in, they gotta replace all the carpet anyways. I don't know how commercial works, but I don't know if anybody deals with any of that stuff. If for commercial space that they have to replace the carpeting or not. I know like in a residential rental they have to replace carpet and some other things when tenants change, so I don't know if that's the same thing in a retail location or not. Yeah, but if I think it all depends if they force me to pay their people or if I can find like I said, if I can get the guy that did work in here, Billy, or like one of my friend's brothers does a bunch of flooring, like they'll do the flooring for way cheaper than any like actual place will do. The knocking down walls and stuff, like if they want me to rent it, like they have to knock down the walls. I'm not paying them a shit ton of money to knock down some walls because they had, like, once again, it's a place that's been empty for almost a year because accountants and whoever else all went to just working from home or whatever else. There's not a lot of guys that are like insurance adjusters or whoever that are working in offices unless they absolutely have to. They can work remotely or out of their house or whatever else. We have Funderburk. Like, COVID switched a lot of those type of businesses from having like a little hole in the wall place in a strip mall to just like, yo, we're just operating out of our house or wherever. We have Bo Naylor, Ray, Gallen, Torres, Keckerin, Chisholm Jr., Webb, Henderson, Phillips, Kershaw, Arrays, Jimenez, J-Dom, Melendez, Adamas, Carroll, Jackson Rutledge, Goriel Jr., Devers, Pipiot, Rutschman, Turner, Williams, Bailey, Crawford, Leiter, Harrison, and Jackson Holiday. We're going to have Moreno, Castellanos, Irving Lopez, Goodman, Ohapi, Sassoni, Jordan Alvarez, Springer, Acuna Jr., Lewis, Stanton, Harper, Lofton, Fitzgerald, Yelich. We have Lee on the refractor, Furman, Steele, Yoshida, Greinke, Dane Myers, Hamilton, Candelario, Schmidt, Freddie Freeman, and Rizzo. Have Remilliard, Cody Bellinger, Luis Castillo on the negative. Have Jordan Adams on the refractor, Cabbage, Rutschman, Seager, Raleigh, Jacob Young, Austin Baum, Burns, Matsui, Forrest Wall, Cropley, Wicks, Tucker, Carpenter, Junior Caminero on the pink. Go to the Rays. Jonathan India, Soto, Kirilloff, Bobby Witt Jr., Jacob deGrom, Campbell, Amaya, Hayes, Sale, Schneider. We have Turner, Fernando Tatis Jr., Colton Cowser on the photo variations. The first one of these we've seen. That's going to go to Dave and the Orioles. Then one of the hottest players in baseball. We have Joe Boyle, J.P. Martinez, Ornelas, Lane Thomas, Tim Anderson, Diaz, Meadows, Neto, Scherzer, Evan Carter, Young, Gallen, Lowe, Bo Naylor, Junior Caminero, and Grayson Rodriguez. We have Nolan Arenado, Michael Harris at second, Spires, Bellinger, Candelario, Ruiz, Judge, Conforto, Meade, Schmidt, Bogarts, Marte, Hamilton, Priester, Adley Rutschman, Raleigh, Ronnie Mauricio, Remilliard, Winans, Moniak, Bregman, Langeliers, and Otani. Bo Bichette, Seager, Ellie De La Cruz, Austin Wells, Cabbage, Cruz, Trout, Rom, Benintendi, Kyle Tucker, Mike Trout, Eddie Rodriguez, Olson, Chapman, Noda, Trout, Senga, Langford, Rodriguez, deGrom, Torkelson, Basebe, Sale, Henderson, Diaz, and Brandon Walter. That's going to be the first 10 blasters. the next 5. Still can't believe some man just opened up another man's mail. That shit kind of actually low-key pissing me the fuck off. Not even low-key, like, actually just angry about it. But either way, I just need to figure out how much the floor is going to cost and if I can bring my own people and how much it's going to be to put in a door and knock down a couple walls. And if it's not, I don't know, Brent, if you had to lay, you do flooring? If you need to do 3,000 square feet of flooring, roughly, how much would it cost? Just a relatively water-resistant, or whatever it is, that whether it's water-resistant, right? Water-resistant or water-repellent floor. Like one of those wood vinyl plank floors. I mean, Maryland's gonna, I'll just add like $2,000 on top of it for Maryland price. Because I'm sure labor is higher in this area than it is in Maryland. Well, that's why Billy does such great work, is because Billy charges by the day, and then he does really good work. And okay, see, that's pretty much what St. John's property said, was that they have their own construction team, so I would assume they don't try to bend people over, because like if they're like it's gonna be this amount, like, and I'm like, oh, never mind, that's too much, I can't do that, I just have to go find a different place to rent then, right? Like, okay, that's less than I thought it would be, though. Definitely less than I thought it would be. Like I said, if they can remodel everything for like $20,000, I'd probably be fine. Anything over that, I'd have to really have to reconsider it, because they said it'd probably take 90 days, and I'd have to pay. And I don't know if they'd make me in those 90 days while they're working on it, if I got to pay the lease or not. Because I got to pay the lease and I can't put anything up. Oh, then we'll see. There's a few questions I got to figure out when it comes to renting the space. But I'll send him an email tomorrow with all my questions. We have Wynn, Marte, Berger, Chisholm Jr., Sheehan, Trout, Correa, Michael Harris, Elliot LaCruz, Witt, Batty, Rochio, Connor Phillips, Triolo, Blackman, Bednar, Robert, Blackburn, Cowser, McLean, Rosarena, Richardson, Baker, and CES. We have Dansby, Swanson, Marcus Semien, Basebe, Padermo, Mountcastle, Gorman, India, Meneses, Taylor, Julian, Yastrzemski, Walker, Lopez, Myers, Victor Scott, and Corbin Carroll. We have Eloy Jimenez. They shouldn't have to. I mean, obviously, I didn't see how flat or straight the floor was. Pretty much it's like that really thin, shitty carpet, and you can tell there's like no padding underneath the carpet at all. They would just have to like essentially rip that up, and then it's the cement floors right underneath it. We have cement or concrete, whatever. Cement, I'm assuming. We have Clase, Contreras, Baez, Funderburk, Kierstad, Morel, Hader, Jung, Ray, Paris, Tim Anderson, Zach Wheeler, Jazz Chisholm Jr., Martinez, Outman, Nimmo, Ruiz, Marco Luciano. We have Matos, Shiano, Raggins, Outman, Webb, McMahon, Altuve, Alonzo, Olson, Rojas, Terrain, Alcantara, Kershaw, Gonzalez, Balasovic, Votto, Story, and then Sal Frelick on the pink. That and some baseboard work, because the baseboards were bad, so I would assume that they would just replace those, but I could be wrong. Like, some of the baseboards were like would end and be missing at certain points, and I was like, "Yo, you fix that?" He was like, "Yeah, we can fix that." So I don't know. That meant like they'll fix it or I gotta pay to fix it. We have Butler, Senga, Perez, Story, Shota, Ellie De La Cruz, Shota again on the Sepia. That's why I said I have some questions about different things, but sounds good. We have Devin Williams, Freddie Freeman, Horwitz. We got Lawler, Freddie Freeman again. Yordan Alvarez on the purple Sonar 63 out of 275. Going to the Astros. We have Reese Olson on the pink. Mauricio Torkelson Carpenter, Neto, Devin Williams, Jimenez, Harper, Torres, Marte, White, Rodriguez, Castillo, and Kerry Carpenter. Yeah, I was gonna say it's the one that's by it's right behind Cancun Cantina. We have Montez, Rendon. If you know where Cancun Cantina is, obviously there's like an M&T Bank, a Burger King right off of oh my God, what's that road called? Dorsey Run. There's like a strip mall behind that. That's where it's at. We have where the Boy Scouts of America are at. Jared Jones, Lyon Richardson, DeLuca, Bieber, Burns, Matsui, Perez, Berger, Cropley, Wicks, Marte, Witt Jr., Lipsius, Tovar, Verdugo. We have Nolan Arenado on the 251 out of 350 on the pink speckle. We have Owen White, Canzone, Alvarez, Turner, Doyle, Correa, Kessinger, and Garcia. I thought it was on the other side of the loop, like if you cut across the airport, it's almost straight across the other side of the airport, but it's mistaken. I was going to say the location's actually a little bit better than I thought because being behind Cancun Cantina and kind of where some of the other stuff is at there, I think there's going to be a little bit more traffic that passes by than what I thought on the other side. We have Springer, Ramirez, Abbott, Happ, Gore, Baez, Davis, Jack Leiter, Adolis Garcia. We have Jordan Adams on the 36 out of 150 for the Blue Ray Wave. But like I said, it all comes down to what they'll actually lower. If they'll lower the rent to $5,000, and if I have to pay for it, like obviously I know I have to pay for renovations, and the renovations aren't too bad. I'll take it 100%. If they put the rent at like $5,500, I'd have to really think about it. We have Coco Montes, Jackson Merrill, Gray, Lowe, Devers, Varsho, Lopez. I'd have to really do some research about like how much money Chops normally make out from like having league nights for TCGs, like how much the like store championships for Magic and Lorcana bring in revenue wise. Like I'd have to look all that stuff up because the whole point of getting a much bigger space would be to host all of like essentially the nerdy stuff, and the last time I entered in a tournament for a card game was when I was in like the 6th grade, when Pokemon was still being played at like a high level when base set 2 came out. We have Verlander, Rodriguez, Rafaela, Green, Diaz, Conforto, Kirkeren, Uribe, Kwan, Langeliers, Turner, and McClanahan. And I remember going to like Toys R Us to play, so like I don't know how much extra revenue that generates, like just having like a store that actually has a play area compared to right now, like, I don't sell a lot of Magic. I don't sell a lot of, like, draft boosters or play boosters for Magic or, like, Flesh and Blood, because there's not a place in the store to play, so those are games that people want to play. If that makes sense. And just having an area for people to open up cards and sit down, I wonder if that also helps. It's not... He didn't mention anything about it, but I didn't see him today. I think he might be a little bit scared at me. I got a little bit angry last night. They left the USB plugged in, and it made... I had to, like, recover the hard drive last night. That's why I actually started late. Which, he did everything right. He didn't do anything wrong. I was just, like, so irritated that the hard drive was, like, essentially pretending to be corrupt, and I had to restart the computer once and recover it, and then it was just time-consuming, so it's just, like, the frustration of, like, you come over, and I know I have to run 2 breaks, and you guys are waiting on me. Or even, like, tonight, like, I'm probably more frustrated about the whole situation with somebody else. Essentially, the cards got delivered to the wrong address, and a person opened them. Or one of the guys in the group local. And, like, I'm just irritated by that. Like, there's no reason for someone to open somebody else's fucking mail. Like, first off, it's illegal. Second off, you're just a prick if it's, like, down the street from your house. But it's neither here nor there. But I don't think he's actually, like, afraid of me or scared about me. I just didn't see him today because when I came to the shop to pick up or to go drop off a case of Loupe Trinity to mail it out to somebody. So when I talked to Topps about the floors, so my 2 biggest concerns when it comes to the cosmetics of the building is when I talked to the Topps rep about getting a store, like getting an official store account, they said they don't like drop-down ceilings, but in this case it has to be, because if not, like, I don't think they realize the acoustics of not having drop-down ceilings and just having the walls that go up to, like, where the drop-down would be and having more of that, like, industrial-like ceiling look. Creates a lot of echoes when you're breaking. So I don't think they realize that, like, it's not a good fixture for, like, my format. And then the floors, he pretty much said the floors have to be some sort of, like, hardwood, like, laminate hardwood, like, something that looks better than a carpet or, like, a cement floor. They don't want that. They want it to look not like you're rolling into a Costco or Sam's Club, that you're going into, like, a shop to hang out. So definitely can't just grind the floors and seal them, unfortunately. And if you mean by renting a new shop, I mean, it would be a new location to me, but obviously there was stuff there already before. So I think the building was built in 97 or 93. I know he mentioned they didn't have a sprinkler system, which honestly is kind of fine by me, because a sprinkler system would, like, actually more fuck me than help me. If, like, somebody else caught their part of the building on fire and my sprinkler system went off, like, all the cars would be ruined anyway, so... Woo! Like... What's it matter to them? Mike, I think I'm gonna actually... When we move everything, it'll probably be a slowly but surely thing, depending on how everything gets set up, because I don't think it's going to be something where I can just move everything over there in a day, because, well, I guess from a shop standpoint, it's not like a huge deal, because I can still run the brake stuff, but... My plan is to... There's a place in Baltimore that sells, like, display cases and everything. Go there and figure out exactly what I need once the building's ready, and then have them deliver everything, set everything up, and then move all the product over. But have any new deliveries be delivered to the new shop is sooner than later. and switch everything over because I know there's going to be a time lapse with that. I even thought about just keeping this area at one point in time because when Dylan first started, he kind of asked a little bit if he could just not sublet this underneath me, but if we moved the shop, if he could have first dibs on this place. We have Colt Keith. So it already has a drop-down ceiling. Just for whatever reason, Topps said they don't like the drop-down. You know, like if you ever watched the movie Office Space, like they have the drop-down ceiling, that the typical like drop-down ceiling is in like any basement. We have Rutledge, Adams, Tucker, Corey Seager, Albies, Forrest Wall, Schwarber, Alonso, Churio, Buxton, Soler, Tucker, Cruz, Abreu, Murphy, Cedric Mullins, Jared Triolo. We have Horner, Mullins, Taj Bradley, Betts, Noda, Cruz, Teoscar Hernandez, Jordan Walker. We have Matt Olson, Spires, Boyle, Cease, Blake Snell, Willer, Abreu, Luciano, Greinke, Smith, Morel, Chapman, Bregman, Soler, Schwarber, Ellie De La Cruz, Hancock, and Sal Frelick. We have Buxton, Gunnar Henderson, Murphy, Bryant, Doyle, J.J. Blade on the 87.99. But I do appreciate the help. Probably just get once everything gets set up on the other side, probably just get a box truck and just have those three and anybody else that wants to help move some stuff. We have Steven Cruz into a box truck and maybe make 2 trips. U-Haul or my pickup truck if you have a pickup truck or whatever, and then whatever we can fit in the U-Haul. We have Story, Torres, Senga, Soto. There is a few tiles that definitely were like not great looking. We have Jordan Lawler, Gomez, Harper, India, Horwitz, Freeman, Perez, Ezekiel Tovar on the purple Sonar. Having a good season. We have Nick Gonzalez on the pink and Ronnie Mauricio. Kerry Carpenter, Castillo, Slate, Sassoni, Soto, Rodriguez, Torkelson, Noda, Lawler, White, Jimenez, Chapman, Turner, Montez, Jones, DeGrom, Olsen, and Alika Williams. You still working at UPMC if you're watching, Dave? We have Fitzgerald, Ohapi, Pipiat, Jason Dominguez, Christopher, I don't have a batting average, Morel, Lofton, Acuna Jr., J.P. Crawford, Shiano, Furman, Yoshida, Castellanos, Bailey, Lane Thomas, Wu, Hartwig, Steele, Rodriguez, Tim Anderson, Steer, Robert Jr., Stanton, PCA, and Smith Sauver. We have Yelich, Lewis, Matos, Meade, Westberg, Lugo, Sal Frank. We're going to have Scherzer, Perez, Story, Noda, Evan Carter, Keeper Ruiz, Lawler, DeGrom, Chapman, Bellinger, Mauricio, Horwitz, Freeman, Diaz, Evan Carter on the pink, and Eddie Rodriguez. That Evan Carter is pretty off-center. We have Torkelson. You know, there's been a couple Otanis already, Brent. We have at least 2, maybe 3. We have Winans, Josh Jung, Jimenez, Webb, Ray, Walker, Montez, White, Arrays, Rutschman, Rodriguez, Rendon, Jared Jones, Albies, Sal Frank, Olsen, Flaherty, Taj Bradley, Bellinger, Cal Raleigh. There's been a couple judges, too. We have DeLuca, Jones, Walker. Look, right there's a Shohei refractor, $40. Walter, Ramirez, Snell, Teoscar Hernandez, and Bryce Jarvis. I believe that puts us halfway through. There's been at least one base Ohtani too, Brent. I couldn't remember if it was Ohtani or Judge that had the refractor or whatever it was early on. But I guess it was Ohtani if you say so. Like I said, there's still a finest, has a few teams left. There is that Breakers of Light with 2 hobby boxes and the National Sports Card Convention Rapper Redemption Pack. Pristine comes out next week. Probably roll into mixers after we fill up what's on the board right now. I'll throw up a Leaf Trinity. Yeah, I have a case of tier 1 that I'm going to put in some mixers. That's what I was just about to say. Probably do some mixers this weekend. Hopefully we can get the stuff that's open filled tomorrow. I have more finest coming, so we can use that for mixers too. Probably break another full case of finest though before we go into the mixers with the finest, but doesn't mean I can't put some finest in the mixers and still be breaking cases of finest. Finest is such a good product this year, man. Like, they did really well with that product. I think the tiered, I think everyone was bitching about the checklist being bigger in the tiered, but I think it allowed them to put a lot more color, which it might devalue the color a little bit. But yeah, I mean, the reason I've been so hesitant to post it was because I knew that the price was a little expensive in the sense of, like, just aggregate, no matter what, it has to be expensive because the boxes themselves are expensive. And it is more like a feast or famine type of product. But I have 2 more cases of that as well, so those will be in mixers. So we definitely have some nice mixers, especially after the Pristine release, because then I think we have a little bit of break. I still have some museum collection we can throw in mixers too, so. Depending how big a wave 2 of Pristine is, I'll probably be rolling mixers all the way up until we get into Bowman. Until we get into Bowman Chrome. I don't think there's any other releases before that. There's football at the end of the month, composite football. Tennis comes out next week too. We'll run some tennis. Don't ask me. It's tennis. I mean, the checklists, if you're into tennis at all, I bet you that stuff actually ends up selling pretty well because it's like the first time they've done tennis. But it has all the big names in it. They brought back like Andre Agassi, Steffi Graf. They have, I think, Sampras. Oh, the price for what's in there is really good. Just in general, because the product is expensive, the price is high overall. My fear was because it's been a very busy month in product releases. Although, thankfully, we've had some new guys come in and hop in breaks. Hopefully, they're enjoying themselves. Just dropped off a bunch of mail yesterday and today. There's a few breaks that are going to be sent out probably Friday. They'll be sent out Friday. So, including this one will be out Friday, and we'll be 100% everything will be shipped. We have Rom, Winans, Mickey Moniak, Pena, Brian Reynolds, Shohei, Matsui, Bichette, Shohei, Cropley, Wicks, Burns, Slade, Sissoni, Lipsius, Benintendi, Tucker, Jack Flaherty, Austin Wells on the pink. He's been tearing the cover off the ball. Been hitting so well. Got him in fantasy. I have him in my utility spot in fantasy right now because I have him and Contreras. the Brewers catcher. We have Diaz, Batty, and Carrera, Caminero, Castellanos, Uribe, Rafaela. We have Cole, Lugo, Wynn, Quan, Green, Blackburn, Andrew Abbott, Sheehan, Marte, Meneses, Adley Rutschman, Stanton, Ellie, Trout, Varsho, Acuna Jr., PCA, Witt, and McClanahan. Witt could be a guy that sneaks in and takes MVP, so if you get the Royals, I would hold your Witts. We have Pena, Marlowe, Baez, Contreras, Forrest Wall. We have Henry Davis on the pink. This one's pretty well centered, too. Pittsburgh Pirates for my first overall pick. Going to Justine in her first break. We have Austin Riley. We have Lee, Darvish, Carroll, Evaldi, Sal, Frank, Volpe, JT Realmuto, Mullins, Tristan Gray. We have Cano, Lindor, Spencer Torkelson on the purple. We have 37 out of 250. We have Jacob Amaya and Mason Wynn. We have Mookie Betts, Casas, Suzuki, Taj Bradley, Glasnow, J-Rod, Yamamoto, Soto, Triolo, Jarvis, Bednar, Horner, Kowser, Blackman, Perez, Jimenez, and Isaiah Campbell. We have Steele, Bailey, Crawford, Soto, McNeil, Hartwig, Furman, Castellanos, Jones, Wu, Robert Jr., Lewis, Stanton, J.P. Martinez, Smith-Sauer, Steer, Yelich, Altuve, Aaron Judge on the sepia, Jordan Westberg, Lugo, Ruiz, Moreno, Meade, Pena, Jung, and J. Ram. We have Quinn Priester, Diaz, Bogarts, Freeman, Parker Meadows, Amaya, Chris Bryant, Hayes, J-Rod, Hader, Campbell, India, Tatis Jr., Outman, Turner, Scherzer, Lane Thomas, Emmanuel Clase, 98 out of 99. That's going to go to the Guardians. It is kind of crazy that we haven't got an autograph yet. I know it's retail and they're not guaranteed, but normally we get, like I said, normally we were averaging about 1 per 5. Hartwig, J.P. Martinez, Schneider, Ornelas, Steele, Wheeler, Gallen, Neto, Lowe, Rosarena, and Parker Meadows. Hader, Arenado, Ragan, Junior Caminero, Young, Grayson Rodriguez, Jazz Chisholm, Wu, Bellinger, Candelario, Bogarts, Perez, J.J. Bleday, Remilliard, Raleigh, Schmidt, Moreno, Wells, Cabbage, Rutschman, Seager, and Trey Cabbage again. Into the next 5 here. You know what? It's because I need to crack a Coke Zero. That's the only thing it could be. They didn't offer me the metal box or the mega boxes. They offered me blasters, and I can still get a ton of blaster cases apparently if I want to. So I gotta order a couple overtime elite of basketball boxes or cases because they've really been monitoring. If you don't take overtime elite and other basketball products, they will limit how much NBA stuff you get. So they take all that into account. So I'm gonna have to OTE, and then I will offer it for pretty much dirt cheap if anybody wants personals of it. Like pretty much as low as I can go to break even. Probably will. After shipping and like essentially supplies, probably what I'll try to sell it at. I mean, you could end up with like the twins. They had those twins that came in the league through OTE. Like you can get some players that are actually worth a decent amount. Overtime elite basketball and the tennis that comes out next week. I'll do the tennis real cheap too. If anyone's into Formula 1, I got a bunch of Formula 1. I got a couple of cases of Formula 1 Chrome still, too, if anybody wants personals of those. Still can't believe J.J. McCarthy's out for the year, man. He looked like the best rookie in the first preseason game, too. He's throwing some fucking dots. But Dunzo for the year. Knee surgery. See you later, bud. We have Casas, Volpe, Rillamuto, Corey Seager, Albies, Forrest Wall, Machado, Judge, Rutledge, Evaldi, C.J. Abrams, Rendon, Abreu, Churio, Murphy, Rodriguez, Jackson, Churio on the pink going to the Brewers. That's going to go to Dave on the retail. Case of the Blasters. We have Devers, Suzuki, Alvarez, Betts, Arrays, Williams, Reynolds, Blade, and Melendez. Yeah, Lighter was bad, dude. We have Holiday, Gurriel Jr., McCutcheon. We're going to have the Ultraviolet All-Stars, David Ortiz. Go to the Red Sox. And Mitch. There's 40 blasters in a case, Brent. We have Emerson Hancock, Kyle Harrison, Sassoni, Moreno, Raggins, Adames, Hoppy, Vladdy Jr., Musgrove, Lawler, Tyler Fitzgerald, Goodman, Piot, Flaherty, Lofton, Yoshida, Ronald Acuna Jr., Perez, Davis Schneider, Tenna, and Lee. We have Goldschmidt, J-Rod, Batty, Meckler, Riley, Darvish, Rochillo, Carter, Cano, Rillamuto. We got Zach Wheeler on the light board. And that's going to go to the Phillies. And Jay Galante. We have Jose Ramirez, Sal Frank, Casas, Volpe, Bryant, Cole, Gray, Betts, Lindor, Harper, Wynn, Glasnow, Yamamoto, Bradish, Jarvish, Perez, J-Rob, Bobby Witt Jr., Wyatt Langford on the pink. Rangers. Lighter, Hap, Gore, Senga, MJ Melendez, Tenna, Goldschmidt, Garcia, Walter, Carter, Meckler, Lee, Darvish, Robbie Ray, Sal Frank, Cano, Riley, Diaz, Flaherty, Wynn, Gray, Lindor, Rutledge, Jarvis, Glasnow, Betts, Cropley, Webb, and Lucan Baker. Dansby, Swanson, McLean, Julian, Morrell, J.P. Crawford, Taylor, Lowe, Contreras, Luis Robert, Myers, Mountcastle, Gray. There we go. Finally getting an auto. Steven Cruz, 204 out of 499. Going to go to the Royals. And David Forsey on the refractor. Dominic Canzone, Lopez, Scott, Perdermo, Bellinger, Bailey, Clase, Langeliers, Conforto, and Aaron Judge. Pereira, Jackson Merrill, Berger, Steer, Lopez, Verlander, Eloy Jimenez, Jordan Adams, Kessinger, Olson, Jones, Judge, Jared Jones again, Ramirez, Rizzo. We got Kyle Hurt on the true green. Go to the Dodgers. And Brent. Got Colt Keith on the pink. Going to go to the Tigers. And Clay. Yeah, Brandon Walter DeLuca. Adams, Rodriguez, Castillo, Soderstrom, Flaherty, McNeil, Otani, and Bryce Harper. Well, that could be a good sign if all the autos are in the last X amount of blasters. There's 10 if you include the 5 I'm opening right now. So we're 3/4 of the way through. We have Suzuki, Reynolds, Blade, Jadom, Alonzo, Williams, Gonzalez, McCutcheon, Votto, Holiday, Goriel Jr., Devers, Musgrove, Curtis Mead. On the pink, gonna go to the Rays. Honestly, man, I don't open anything. I'll open like a pack of Pokemon or whatever else. I mean, we buy so much stuff like Harrison, Moreno, Vladdy Jr., Steer, Alcantara, Goodman, Sassoni, Cruz, PCA, Fitzgerald, Ohapi, PPI, Suzuki, and Lofton. I'll collect some, I have a Pat Fryermuth, Rainbow from Mosaic. I try to collect the downtowns for the Steelers. We have Acuna Jr., Crawford, Kershaw, Quinn Priester. Third baseman, Adrian Beltre, Edgar Martinez, Scott Rowland. I was collecting Alec Bohm for a little bit. We have Albies, Evaldi, CJ Abrams, Cabrian Hayes, Kerstad, Doyle, Abreu, Jackson Churio, Taj Bradley, Schneider, Cruz, Mullins, Murphy, Walker, Blake Snell, Boyle, Horner, Hernandez, Rochillo, Chris Bryant, Spires, Cease, Snell. We're going to have Juan Soto, Luciano, Will Smith, Schwarber, and JP Martinez. I'm from Pittsburgh, man. I was going to say we have Sal Frelick, Greinke, Soler, Jose Tena, Schwarber, Sal Frank, Riley. We're going to have Garcia, Verlander, Vladdy, Gray, Cano, J-Rod. I don't hold it against you that you're a damn Cleveland Browns fan. We have Wynn, Casas, Arozarena, Bednar. Don't think I didn't know. I know where you live at. I was going to say we have Trillo. I know your address. I was going to say we have Jarvis. Got Betts, Candelario, Pipiot, Perez, Glasnow, Semien, Dominguez, Kowser, Yastrzemski, Nolan Gorman, Steele, CES, Blackman, Ramirez, and Lipsius. I know you're a little bit older than I am, which means you actually understand there's a rivalry between the Browns and the Steelers, where some of the younger fans don't realize how big that rivalry is in the AFC North. That's more like because it's been so lopsided, since it's been such a lopsided rivalry since Big Ben's was in the NFL. People don't realize how big of a rivalry that was in the 70s and the 80s. We have Lopez, Verlander, Conforto, Junior Caminero, Snell, Rafaela, Diaz, Langeliers, Greinke, and then even in the 2000s was the Maddox, when there was Holcomb and Tim Couch, and we have Uribe, Correa, Berger. We have Kyron Paris on the purple, 157 out of 2. I mean, you also like the Cardinals, Austin, so I wouldn't have assumed that you didn't like a Midwest team. I was going to say, I mean, I don't know why you don't like the Saints, but I bet you're an LSU fan. We have Nolan Ciano, Sheehan, Wynn, Green, Goriel Jr., Schwarber, Marte, Quan, Batty, and Vladdy Jr. We have Ellie, Blackburn. Yeah, Big Ben did own the Cleveland Browns, that's for sure. We have Cole, Bregman, K. Marlowe, PCA, Trout, Jones. We have Matos on the pink. The Browns also don't have it easy, man. To be the bottom of a division that's so good as the AFC North. We have India, Arenado, Lowe, Henderson, Matsui, Schneider, Campbell, Hader, Tovar, Martinez, Ornelas, Turner, and Zach Wheeler. We have Lucan Baker, Meadows, Ruiz, Bieber, Corbin Burns, Jacob Young, Neto, Gallen, Nimmo, Acuna Jr., Caminero, Rodriguez, Pete Alonso, Alvarez, Kierstad, Morel, Alcantara, Cease, and Taylor. I said, I don't know if you're allowed to live in Louisiana. if you grew up there and not like LSU, that might be sacrilegious. You can like the Raging Cajuns or or like Louisiana Tech or whatever else, but you're still gonna cheer for LSU. I was gonna say on top of that, might get a little Tulane down there in New Orleans. New Orleans. Yeah. Last 5 blasters. Like I said, anything else fills. He said except water skiing. Your backup is Jameis Winston, quarterback-wise. That's your backup. Winston's good, too, man. Everyone hates the hell out of Winston. I think he's a good teammate, and overall, he's just a good person. Like, I know he had his issues in college and whatever and did stupid shit like steal crab legs, and he will never... that'll never be, out of his... as a guy that has character issues, but man, whenever any NFL player talks about how good of a teammate somebody is, the dude's probably actually a good teammate, because nobody says a bad thing about Jameis Winston. Which means you can't be that shitty of a person if his whole team will say that he's a good teammate even when he's a backup. Especially for a guy that was a first overall pick. Because most of the time the guys that are first overall picks are typically pricks. First rounders in general normally have prima donna issues for the most part. But I don't even think DTR will be on the roster. I think it'll be Watson, Winston, and the dude that played in Baltimore. Jameis Winston is the actual definition of a gunslinger, man. The dude threw that one year, he threw 30 picks and 30 touchdowns. That's the knock on Winston, why he's not great, is because he just throws the ball around. Flacco's with the Colts. Flacco's the Colts backup. Talking about the I'm pretty sure they signed the guy that was the Pro Bowler that was the backup for the Ravens. I can't think of his name right now. He's terrible. If I'm not mistaken, because I think now, let me check. Because I think Ravens backup quarterback is somebody else. Huntley. Yeah, Josh Johnson is the backup for Lamar this year. Tyler Huntley is, so they signed Huntley and Jameis Winston in the offseason. Huntley's trash, dog. I could play quarterback better than Huntley in the NFL. That motherfucker can't throw further than 25 yards. Trash. Absolutely terrible. I mean, I don't think I can actually play quarterback better than him. I'm just saying, like, he's bad. We have Richardson, Bradish, Moreno, Buxton, Corbin Carroll, Shota, Wade Jr. For NFL level, he's terrible. We have Rodriguez, Jaloff, Williams again. I would take DRT over him any day of the week. We have Bryant, Butler, Harris II, Rodriguez, Rendon, Balasovic, Furman, Yoshida, Bailey, Kershaw, Terang, Hartwig, Steele, Castellanos, Devers, and Wu. Robert, Lewis, Stanton, David Hamilton, Westberg, Smith-Sauver, Steer, Lugo, Alvarez, Pena, Lugo, Yelich, Volpe, Meade, Josh Jung, Ruiz, Gurriel Jr., David Hamilton, Priester, Diaz, Melendez, Ramillier, Flaherty, Melendez, Rizzo, Kierstad, Lane Thomas, and Reese Olson. Manny Machado, Aaron Nola, Zach Gallen, Brandon Walter, DeLuca, Nolan Jones. We have Ronnie Mauricio on the all-etch rookie. Well, you guys had Holcomb that one year. I think Tim Couch was actually pretty decent if the team around him didn't suck ass. We have Goodman, Rutledge, Adams, Ramirez, Acuna Jr., Scherzer, Wall, Evaldi, Abrams, Soto, Churio, Colt Keith, Taj Bradley, Grayson Rodriguez, Abreu, Murphy, Albies, Sale, and Tyler Fitzgerald for the Giants. I mean, Baker Mayfield was good too. They just decided to go the route of Deshaun Watson over Baker Mayfield, which is wild to me, but it is what it is. Got Tucker, Matsui, Cruz, Perez, Altuve, Lipsius, Cropley, Burns, Gonzalez, Canzone, Bieber, Benintendi, Marte, Hader. We have Kessinger, Tovar, Verdugo, Story, McMahon, Abbott, Alvarez, Turner. We have Shohei and Henry Davis. Garcia, Springer, Aleka Williams, Tenna, Happ, Gore, Mason Wynn on the Ray Wave. We have Zach Wheeler, Mullins, Hernandez, Walker, Swanson, Lowe, Boyle, Cruz, Snell, Morrell, Spires, Cease, Horner, Schwarber, Nick Lofton, Luciano, and Will Smith. Jorge Soler, Yoshida, Nolan Arenado, Sal Frelick, Greinke, Buxton, Diaz, Hancock, Bregman, Kirilloff, Anderson, Murphy, Doyle, Soto, Bo Naylor, Furman, Baez, Witt Jr., Meneses, J-Rod, Soler, Millis, McClanahan, Varsho, Doyle, Vines, Novi Marte, Rochillo, Contreras, and Rojas. That's going to be the break. Let's do a quick recap of the hits. We're going to have Wynn on the Ray Wave, Fitzgerald on the pink, Matos on the pink, Meade on the pink, Keith on the pink, Churio on the pink, Dylan Cease on the green, Torkelson on the purple, Henry Davis on the pink, Tovar on the purple Sonar, the green Wave Blade, the blue Shota on the sepia, Sal Frelick on the pink, Junior Caminero on the pink, Castillo on the negative, J-Dom on the pink, CES on the pink. We have the purple Sonar Bieber and the blue Ray Wave J-Ram. Yeah, Manziel was bad, but Manziel was bad because having a bad personality and not caring about football. That one wasn't really on the Browns. We have Kierstad on the pink, Ronnie Mauricio on the all-etch rookie rush. We have Bogarts on the purple speckle, Paris on the true purple, Langford on the pink, David Ortiz on the ultraviolet all-stars. We have Wynn on the pink, Hurt on the true green, Arenado on the fuchsia speckle, Wells on the pink, Steven Cruz on the refractor, Colton Cowser on the pink, Wheeler on the light board, and Colton Cowser on the photo variation. That's going to be the break, guys. I appreciate y'all as always. You guys have a good night. Be safe. I don't think anything else filled. So we'll have those breaks run tomorrow because they should fill in. I appreciate y'all as always. Just have a good night and be safe. I will catch y'all tomorrow.